How's it going, everybody? Before we jump into this strike spot reaction, I want to give my quick take on the Vigilante team reworks. And it's not worth the full video, so it doesn't all of a sudden make this full team amazing everywhere, but there's a lot of interesting things that go on here. First things first, the reworks are only to Daredevil Modern, Silver Sable, and Hitmonkey. There was no speed changes whatsoever, so right away, I'm already not interested in the team as a full unit. But do we have some plug-and-play value? We'll talk about that. Honestly, as long as Elektra is on the team, and as long as the fastest character is Silver Sable at 128, I'm just not interested. Daredevil Modern, all they did was make his special now flip all negative effects and heal himself and all Vigilante members. This is great, but again, the speed at which his team goes, not interested, and the fact that this is only Vigilante means I'm not interested in him as a plug-and-play character. Silver Sable, her ultimate is the part that did strip positive effects in the decay feature, the same way that Endgame Thanos does, but she still needs 4 Vigilante members. If they took away this 4 and put it as a 3, and we were able to put like old school Emma or Nick Fury in with the other 4 Vigilante members, then I would be interested in the team. But they didn't do that. Instead, they took out the condition that in raids, she applies trauma for 2 turns to all enemies. That's really good. And she applies ability block for 2 turns to 2 random support enemies. Also really good. So that's fantastic. They also added in a line saying, in raids, always do these actions instead. The more interesting part of her kit, though, is going to be in her passive. They added in a line. The focus of this character and each ally can only be reduced by offense down. This makes her a counter to Cosmic Ghost Rider in War. And Cosmic Ghost Rider as a plug-and-play character now has an answer in Silver Sable as a plug-and-play character, so that is interesting. Does give her use as a plug-and-play character. Great. Silver Sable stonks way, way, way up. And the fact that now she's really doing trauma for 2 turns to all enemies, irregardless of Vigilante, but does require 1 villain enemy, that's huge. That's really good. She's going to be amazing against those Cosmic Ghost Rider Astral teams that we see in War lately. Oddly enough, with the addition of this line here, they no longer needed to remove Stage 4 of Crucible like they did. That's another conversation for another day, though. Hitmonkey. What they've done to Hitmonkey is they've left everything the same, except now his passive on offense, he'll lower the revive chance of all enemies. This is going to make him a really good like Dormammu counter, a really good Old Man Logan counter, stuff like that. So he also got a big bump in the plug-and-play side. He's also the character at 127 that has a turn 1 stun trauma, the same sort of way that Spider Weaver does, but he'll have the new stats, right? So Hitmonkey stonks and Silver Sable stonks through the roof. If you want to know who I think is the bigger winner here, I think the bigger winner here is Hitmonkey. A turn 1 stun trauma and stopping revives, that's huge. All right, let's go look at the strike spot. All right, guys, well, with that Vigilante update out of the way, let's check out part 3 of the strike spot, A New Age of Marvel Strike Force. See what Pathfinder has to share with us today.
Greetings, Commanders. My name is Pathfinder, and we're back with our 3rd and final episode in the Strike Spot miniseries, A New Age in Marvel Strike Force. If you haven't already, go back and check out videos 1 and 2 so you're all caught up on the latest news on this new age. Today, we're going to be covering the currencies and stores, so it's a big topic. You're not going to want to miss the last part of this interview.
Let's go.
Don't forget to give all of your feedback and ask questions on our official Discord page, our Reddit, and our Facebook page, and we're going to answer those live on Twitch this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. We're excited to see you there. Let's go ahead and dive in to the last part of this interview. All right, well, welcome back, Commanders. We are in our 3rd and final interview portion of this mini-series, A New Age of MSF. We kicked off in video 1, and if you haven't watched video 1 and 2, I would definitely encourage you to do so. They're not super long, but they are very informative. We've talked about the New Age, what it means, how it's going to be beneficial to players. We've talked about the chapter structure and how that's going to work. And today, we probably have what a lot of players are going to be most interested in hearing about, and that is seasonal shop and the store refresh, if you will. So I think, we start off with the stores have been really a hot topic in the community for a long time. So let's start by talking about what we're changing.
Yeah. All right, before we let him answer that, talking about shops, this is gonna be really big, right? The recap of the last 2 videos. The first video was like, it's gonna be Annihilus, and they kind of nerded out about that. That's cool. You don't need to watch that first video if you don't want to. The second video, they're talking about legendary characters. There's gonna be 3 new legendary characters. We think it's gonna be Quasar, Blastar, and Blue Marvel is what everyone in the Discord is saying. They did give a little sneak peek, little silhouette portrait, if you will, and essentially every single legendary character is going to be given a 3-month window where it's like that is their age, that is their season, if you will. Okay. And through that season, you will be getting that legendary character maxed out. There's going to be 3 different Scourges or something like that, which will compete in to get the red stars. And it should be a participation gets you these legendary characters maxed out. Those are the 2 videos. We're caught up. This store video, I think, is going to be the most important video that everyone has been waiting for.
I would definitely +1. It's been a big topic, even with the development team here. I think when I joined the team, a lot of players' wallet sizes were already kind of out of control. And so we had this chicken and egg problem, right? Where you didn't want to put great items.
He said wallet size. I'm going to rewind. When he says wallet size, what he means is your hoard of credits, your raid credits, your arena credits, your crucible credits. Like, I have 17 million raid credits, right? What can they possibly put in the store without putting like a million price on it to make things make sense? Not our problem. That's their problem. It's everybody's problem because somebody dropped the ball down the line, right? It's everybody's problem.
A big topic, even with the development team here. I think when I joined the team, a lot of players' wallet sizes were already kind of out of control. And so we had this chicken and egg problem, right? Where you didn't want to put great items into the shop because then just basically you're not really necessarily even needing to engage in what we kind of call the core modes to earn the currencies because you already have, a significant wallet. So what we know and want to do is we want to provide the players with great value inside of our shops, right? Giving you a lot of agency and choice in terms of what do you want to be, spending this currency on? What do you find valuable? And so what we're going to be doing is creating kind of a chapter or a seasonal shop that will be around for the 3 months that chapter is, active, and you will be earning a new seasonal currency throughout that chapter. And as that currency, you're earning or acquiring that currency, we're going to have great items inside of these seasonal shops. So think of things that are going to give you great value. So maybe the latest gear tier, training mods, new characters. And I mean new characters earlier on than we've ever put them into any shop prior, so that if you are someone who says, I really want that new Cosmic Crucible team, you can really spend a lot of this currency to try and power up that Cosmic Crucible team. We're trying to really just create agency for our players, which I think we've lacked for kind of a long time. But we also know that we need to kind of reset a lot of the balances, so to speak, that players have had for a long time. But within this new seasonal shop, you're going to be able to earn things that you've never been able to kind of earn in the game prior.
Awesome. Well, you talked about a new seasonal currency. So where are you going to be earning this seasonal currency from?
Yeah, so this...
I see everyone in chat right now freaking out. Everything that you're bitching about is about to be addressed. I'm telling you, this store thing is actually a really good thing.
Seasonal currency, first and foremost, is through engagement only. We won't be selling this currency in any way, shape, or form. You will be able to go through what we call kind of the core loop, or a lot of the events inside of the command center, or global milestones, or just playing the normal core modes, right? Playing a raid, playing war, playing arena, playing Cosmic Crucible. You will start to earn this currency, and then throughout the chapter, as you're earning that currency, the shop is also going to be improving because new items will constantly be going into the shop. So the value of the shop itself from, say, month 1 of the start of a chapter is going to be great value, but by month 3, there's going to be even more exciting items inside of that shop for you to be able to purchase from.
Awesome. So I guess my question, and probably on a lot of people's mind as well, you talk about how you're going to be earning these from War, Arena, Crucible. So what exactly is happening with those existing currencies, those existing stores?
Yeah, so eventually all of those currencies will be deprecated, right? We will stop giving those out. You'll start earning the seasonal currency. What we're deeming kind of the current currencies that you get. We're currently calling those internally the legacy currency. So eventually, what we want to do is create a legacy shop. So we're going to do a conversion for all of the currencies that you currently have. That'll be very beneficial to our players. We're not taking anything away from anyone. We want this to be something that you're really excited about, right? So that conversion is going to happen. So all of your existing currencies will eventually be converted into this legacy currency. Shortly, soon, after the new age starts, we'll create a legacy shop that will contain a lot of the existing items that you see in a shop today. But then also, as a chapter concludes, and say we stop chapter 1, we're starting chapter 2, a lot of the items that were inside of the chapter 1 shop will now move into the legacy shop. So the legacy shops also are going to improve over time. So a lot of valuable items will also eventually hit the legacy shop, so you can still use that currency that you have today to buy some great stuff.
Okay, you talk about how the currency conversion is going to be beneficial. Can we give a brief, summary on how that's going to look? Some players might have millions of some of these currencies.
Yeah, I think a lot of players have millions of these currencies. We're looking at each existing currency and trying to ensure that with every currency, we're not taking anything away from any of those players. As well as we know we're going to do something additional on top of, meaning once that conversion happens, we're also going to give you, X amount of an additional legacy currency so that you're earning something on top of it that you would not have necessarily even had. So let's just say, hypothetically, you have 5 million of these currencies, and you may walk away when we do the conversion with 6, 7, 8 million of those currencies to ensure that you feel very good about the conversion rate that we're giving you as a player.
You kind of talked about what happens at the end of each chapter. We kind of talk about how we're going to get a net gain for all of these things. I think really the only question we haven't answered yet is, when does this new age actually kick off?
Yeah, the Age of Annihilus will start in May. There's a lot of developers that are working very hard to make this happen. This was something that we decided we wanted to do pretty late in Q4, and there was all of the kind of work that we had in the 9.0 release, and now we're just moving a lot of people and resources around to try and get this age kicked off. I would say, be patient with us in terms of we're going to continue to iterate on this, right? Like even Command Center right now, that's kind of version 1 of where we would like that feature to be. The legacy shop, we would have loved for it to be there kind of day 1, but we know that's probably not the reality that we're living in. So a lot of these things will start to come in as the ages have kicked off or started. Even kind of the sense of immersion that we're trying to drive, the way that we want to play with characters differently. We want them to be a part of the age. So we don't just want you to wait a year long for, say, Annihilus to come into the game. We want you to see Annihilus earlier on. We want you to feel Annihilus. We want you to see some of these other legendary characters earlier on. So a lot of the things that we're doing right now are to just kind of kickstart this new age that will start in May. But as this age is progressing, you are going to see the game constantly changing to kind of really fit the mold of what we're trying to build here. And we're going to learn on things that are working, maybe some things that we need to tweak. But yeah, I'm beyond excited to start this new age in May, because I think players, once they really see what we're trying to do, are also going to be extremely excited with the direction that the game is heading.
Thanks, Ryan. Make sure to stay tuned to our blog and all of our...
All right. I let it go on for quite a while there. The shop stuff. I see a lot of you freaking out. This is an absolute good to me. There was never going to be a world, guys. There was never, ever going to be a world where they put any sort of meaningful amount of training materials or gold or DPCs or new character shards or awakened ability materials at a decent pace. There was never going to be a world where they put that stuff in the raid store, in the war store, in the Crucible store. Because players like all of you in this chat right now, maybe on the YouTube video viewers right now, but in Twitch chat and myself, we have 17 million raid credits. Okay? They need to do a hard reset. Now, does that make all the raiding we've done prior to this kind of feel useless? A little bit, right? It really does. Because from raids, let's say from the orchestra, what are they getting? I'm getting raid credits, and from the leaderboard, I'm getting gear tier 19, which has been a solved issue because they've been flooding it in the later milestones that us endgame players are getting. And that's trash. But now, currently, raids are going to give gear tier 20. And now it's going to give this new store currency that's going to be lasting the full month or the full 3 months, whatever it was, until the next legendary character's time in the story comes. And in this new store, there's going to be the best stuff. They talked about putting new characters in there. He means new characters. So imagine right now that this seasonal store existed and there were Starjammers in there from when Starjammers were released. And now there's going to be Vigilante characters in there. And I could put all of my resources into getting these characters built up as fast as possible, or I could just let that stuff come like it normally comes, and I could focus on gold and trading materials, and maybe T4s if I need it, maybe diamonds if I want to do diamonds, or maybe there's going to be awakened abilities that they can be more freely useful now. Maybe they could do, there's so much they could put in this store now since it has a reset date, right? This store will have a reset date when the next legendary season starts. And as far as this legacy store goes, I saw Steven be like, well, if they put training materials in it, then it's great, right? No matter what the conversion is, if they put training materials in it, like we currently have for Arena, people will be able to spam buy training materials from that legacy store probably in perpetuity. And I agree with that. That's a good thing. I also think that they should use this opportunity to slam Old Man Logan, slam Shadow King, slam Mephisto, slam all those characters in this legacy store for their upgrades, right? As far as diamonds go, dark diamonds and all that, I don't think they can convert that in this legacy store, because that would make no sense, right? Like those direct promotion stuff that is not built into like the gear and the leveling and all that. I think they have to let you spend that. I'll bring that up. I didn't think about that, but that's true. They have to. I don't know if you know, but this is basically a copy paste of Star Wars Galaxy episode shipment. I've never played Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Is that a well-received feature over there, Summoner? I hate our stores right now. I freaking hate them, dude. Like, Miss Reva Classic was just put into the Crucible store. I have maybe another week of farming her, and guess what? When I'm done farming her, I'm still gonna have 6 million Crucible credits. Right? They did not keep up with the stores. They need to do a hard reset because there's no way that they can catch up to the stores at this point. It's out of control. The way that the raid credits have grown, it's out of control. They need to do a hard reset. Whatever has to be done to make me feel excited every time a raid ends, to make me feel excited every time a war ends, to make me feel excited that, oh, I just got 2,000 Crucible credits, which it's going to have some sort of different store name. I just got Annihilus Chapter 1 credits. I can go to the seasonal store right now and I could buy 10 shards for Daredevil Modern, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't be super excited about buying Daredevil Modern, let's be real. But whatever can make my daily play feel more rewarding, that's what I want. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? If Gear Tier 20 is going to be in there, I can go buy 5 pieces of Gear Tier 20 because I just had my war payout. That's what I need from the game to make the daily play feel fun. I'm so tired of waiting for an event to pop up to make me feel fun. I'm tired of waiting for Temporal Cataclysm. I'm tired of waiting for a Sword Satellite, only to realize they didn't add any floors to the top end, so it's literally just get to the end and keep beating it over and over again. I'm tired of waiting for Scourges that never meet the expectations. This is the thing. Some of those store credits were bought with physical monies, and now they're giving a conversion rate for shit because they couldn't keep up with the stores. Their lack of foresight created the situation. Agreed. Obviously, there's what is the value of whatever currencies they bought that you're talking about, and what is going to be the converted value into the store? He said it's going to be greater. What if War is giving out like 4 times currency than CC and raids? I'm sure it'll be even for CC and for War. I'm sure it'll be even. I'm sure raids will be the least probably. I mean, we'll see what the conversion is. There's going to be an easy way to mathematically break this down, right? With just like substitution elimination, the amount of credits you had, with X being the variable for each store, XYZ, ABC, whatever. And you could figure out what the conversion was per currency. That's not going to be a hard thing to do. Anyway, there's still 3 minutes left on this. Let's check this out.
our social channels as we near closer to the age of Annihilus. This concludes our 3-part mini-series on the new age in Marvel Strike Force. In a couple days on Friday, we're going to have a live Twitch stream at 11 a.m. Pacific, where RJ and I will answer all of the questions that we've been gathering over the past few days. If you haven't already, make sure to head to our Discord, our Facebook, or our Reddit page to ask your questions about any of the previous videos, and we'll be sure to answer as many as we can live on Twitch. We'll also be answering as many questions as we can from the chat as well.
So, questions that we should definitely try and ask them is, will there be gold and trading materials in the Legacy Store? DPC, whatever the case may be, right? Will there be those things in the Legacy Store? Gold, trading materials, T4s. Okay, if those 3 things are in the Legacy Store, it honestly doesn't matter what the conversion rate is going to be. People are going to be happy because those are the 3 biggest things that kind of stop you from building things up. And then for the main store, we need to know, is it the cutting edge new characters going in there? Are there going to be Gear to 20 in there? Is Purple 4 and 5 going to be there and when it comes? So should I not spend my store currency in the first month? Should I spend it all in the 3rd month? Because then the newest characters will be in there plus the characters from the first 2 months, right? So there's a lot of really interesting questions. I'm going to be curious about the live stream they're going to do. And the live stream is going to speak absolute volumes about the direction of the game. Because there's going to be some big questions, and because it's going to be live, if they're dodging the harder questions, the more like, give me exact information, like, is there gold? Is there training materials? Like, if I have 17 million raid credits, what do you think that should turn into as far as gold goes? Should my 17 million raid credits turn into 17 million gold? Right? Like, what are we talking about here? And then for this legacy store that they're going to do, am I going to have to wait reset after reset after reset? Right? So if there is 50,000 gold in there for 500 of the legacy credits, can I only buy it once? And then I have to wait to another 8 hours to buy another 50,000 gold? Like, is this going to become a habitual thing that I need to log into 3 times a day and I'm not feeling super rewarded? It's not going fast enough. Like, these are the kind of questions that we should definitely be asking them. But we'll see. We'll see on Friday.
Ryan, I wanted to give you the last word on this age. What do you want to leave players with? What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, I mean, besides being really excited to go on a live stream with you, which I've never done before, we have to make sure we're in the same clothes, though. That's what we got to do.
We can coordinate that.
But no, I think, as I look back on the previous year, I think there's a lot of things we did that I'm super proud of, and there's some things that I critique, myself, and kind of say, oh, I wish we did this a little bit differently. And ultimately, I think the changes that we're making right now are to really try and benefit all of our players, and especially those that are really engaged in this game, right? That give us the most valuable thing you have, which is your time. And we want to really reward players for giving us their time. And I think we've been hearing for a long time, again, on kind of the ways that we've ran, our legendary events in the past, or the way that the shops have been, lacking some of the valuable items that maybe a lot of the community have been screaming for. We hear the community. And I think everything that we're doing right now is to make some really great changes to this game. And I think it's going to really push us in a direction that everyone is going to be beyond excited for. And so that's what I'm really excited about. Everyone was always talking about, maybe the new game mode that we're working on that gets everyone really pumped up and excited. And believe me, I'm very excited about that game mode, or some of the changes we'll be making to Battle World within this year. But these changes that we're about to roll out for what we are calling, our ages, are what I'm the most excited about, because I think it's going to be the greatest benefit to all of our players.
Well, thanks for joining us in this mini series. Thanks for giving us all of this news. I gotta say, I'm very excited for this. We hope you're excited for this as well, for these changes that are really coming very soon. And with that, we're going to end it here. We'll see you on Friday.
Sounds great. Thanks, Pathfinder.
My big takeaway from these 3 videos is that I'm excited about the story changes. I know a lot of you are apprehensive about it. I want to feel, again, I always go back to that baby account experience. When I made that baby account last year and a war finished, I was like, hell yes, I can now go and I could buy, I need all these characters, so I could buy like 6 different copies of them right away. That felt good. Same with Crucible. Like, I felt good that I was making progress like that. That stops once you reach the end game. That simply stops when you hit like later mid game. So I need there to be a current store with all the best stuff in it, the newest characters, the awakened abilities, the T4s, maybe gold, maybe training materials in that one as well, gear tier 20, whatever the new ISO is. I need that stuff to be getting earned by every war I do, every Crucible I do. I need that to be fun. And then in the Legacy store, that should, because you guys are not wrong, that like we've been playing the game for how long and we didn't get to use that stuff. I honestly would argue, no, you could have used that stuff. You just didn't need the stuff that was in the store. It wasn't updated in time, but you're not owed anything for that. You're not. But if they were to put those evergreen resources in the Legacy store, like training materials, like gold, it allows them to go from whatever this season store is, and then whatever over plus you don't use in the season store that gets eventually transferred into the Legacy stuff, then that could also be used on gold and training materials over there.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.